It's good to be with you. I am, yeah, happy to be practicing on this day, this kind of quiet, strange week, holiday week for some. And I don't have my headset, which means you can see my ears, which are fine. They're just ears. I'm not embarrassed, but I'm used to my gamer's headset. And here I am in a hotel without it. So, you know, flexibility. Anyway, it's good to practice in this time, and yeah, conscious. Some people may be inundated with people, others feeling a lack of people. A lot happens in this time, and it's easy to get disconnected from Dharma, and kind of fog comes over, and easy to forget a lot. And so we're here to remember, of course. And so let's sit, find our way together. So just kind of beginning with the whatever sweetness of the sangha there is. So we're linked up here by technology, sincerity, love. By a lineage of 2,600 years that's seen it all. We find a way to settle in, to bring some measure of soothing into your body. Feeling your body on the earth. Kind of embrace of sorts of gravity. Maybe meeting whatever agitation or tension, numbness, whatever remains with a sense of patience and tolerance. Like very willing to lavish our unsettledness with awareness and a quiet love. And sometimes the Dharma just feels a little remote. The muscle memory of wisdom and love isn't there. The rich set of associations and silences feel distant. And don't try to brute force your way into the Dharma field. Just lovingly tend to the wall that seemingly separates you from it. And we recall Buddha Dhamma Sangha to help us remember we enter this kind of realm of sensitivity and care. You remember the poignancy, the great urgency of this matter of life and death. Our hearts becoming more supple, simultaneously more strong. It's the courage of meeting this moment as it is, never satisfied that we fully know what this moment is. We keep looking, willing to be surprised by this practice. We don't insist that the Dharma work. We just keep offering our heart up to it, no strings attached. Okay. Yeah, good to sit with you. So, one of the hallmarks of a successful animals like us, is the ability to stay secure and protected. And in a sense, if you want to be safe, you better know a lot about danger. And you better have a kind of robust threat detection system. And fear serves that function. So here's brain scientist Kay Tai. She writes, fear is an intensely negative internal state. It conducts orchestration of coordinated functions serving to arouse our peak performance for avoidance, escape, or confrontation. Fear resembles a dictator that makes all other brain processes, from thinking to breathing, subservient. Fear can be innate or learned. Innate fear can be a response to environmental stimuli without prior experience, such as that of snakes or spiders in humans. Fear associations are the most rapidly learned, robustly encoded and retrieved, and prone to activate multiple memory systems. So, in other words, our system is pretty good, you could say that. How many times has fear kept me safe? I don't even know. How do you even count? Million, right? And how many times has the alarm bell of fear gone off, but there's no actual threat? Probably 100 times that. So, on the one hand, I'm glad we have fear mechanisms, but we've probably overlearned the lessons of fear. And so why do I begin with all of this? A couple weeks ago, I think I was talking about the difference between sensitivity to suffering and fear of suffering. And I was very cognizant of being sensitive to suffering, even as a kid, but I maybe haven't realized that just how much fear is still bound up. Fear of suffering, particularly the suffering of others. And so today I wanted to continue around this question of fear, but I'm thinking about the relationship between fear and love and generosity. So there's a story, I just came across it again. I read it 7 years ago when it was published, and saw it again this week. And so the author writes, a quiet man named Joao quit his job running the human resources department of an insurance company in Rio de Janeiro and began selling French fries from a street cart. The fries quickly proved popular, in part because they were delicious, thin and crisp and golden. Even more enticing, Joao often served them up for free. All you had to do was ask, and he'd scoop some into a box, no charge. What money he did take in, he frequently gave away to children begging in the street, or used to buy them sweets. Day after day, he came home to his wife and son without any money in his pocket. In his previous life, Joao was been stern and serious, prone to squirreling money away. But after surviving a health crisis at the age of 49, he wanted to live differently. I saw death from close up, he would often say. Now I want to be in high spirits. And nothing made him happier than giving. What's most interesting about Joao though, is that his new outlook resulted not from a spiritual awakening, but from a brain damage caused by a stroke. His neurologist says he became, quote, pathologically generous, compulsively driven to give. His carefree attitude towards money led to confrontations with his family, especially his brother-in-law, who co-owned the French fry cart. But even when his family berated him and the cart went out of business and he was reduced to living on his mother's pension, Joao refused to stop. Giving simply made him too happy. So what's the lesson from this? Was maybe a surprise that we pivoted into a brain injury, right, rather than some spiritual awakening, right? And is the lesson, maybe we might ask, like, if you don't have a brain injury, if you have normal brain functioning, you're right to be less generous than Joao. Maybe, maybe not, right? Our brains, we have to remember, are designed to help us survive, not be free. And as the story unfolded, we learned that Joao's the kind of nature, the damage to his brain, associated with regions associated with long-term planning and goal-directed behavior. In a certain sense, you could say it eroded his capacity to worry. It eroded his capacity for certain types of fear. And of course, this is a loss in some ways. His family was suffering as a function of his generosity, right? Fair enough. Maybe we say that's not honorable. Here's the story concludes. We can talk about generosity in terms of dopamine hits or Pavlovian stimulus response theory. And that's not necessarily wrong, but it overlooks something important about Joao. That giving truly did make him feel happy and fulfilled. The neuroscience researcher said Joao was one of the happiest people he's ever met. And that made me wonder, like, okay, I don't want to throw away all of the mechanisms of my fear, but what would my love look like if I were less afraid? What would your love look like if you were less afraid? Even if it were just 5% of Joao, what would your love look like? I can sense in me that my love feels constrained by different forces. It's not that I'm not a loving person or something, but I can feel that it's still constrained. It's constrained, among other factors, by fear. Fear, this sense of like, and fear just puts us into the deepest, innocent but very primitive corner of self, where the world is populated essentially by threat. That's the only salient feature of the world. What is threat? What's not threat? And how different, right, would our vision of life be when the most salient feature of the world is not threat, but instead goodness and need? My love feels constrained by social custom. In some ways we celebrate generosity in some ways, but view it with suspicion in others. My love feels constrained by the kind of prevailing standards of how much we're entitled to privilege our own well-being over that of strangers, you know? And there's just, for me, just like, just reading about um, that story, it was a very kind of deep delight, just a deep delight in it. And it didn't feel sullied by the fact that it was a brain injury rather than a spiritual awakening that led him to give away all those fries. And the kind of the delight in doing that, like I actually I get that, right? Like the sense of yeah, this sense of like this latent love in all of us, that is somehow constrained, or somehow we're self-conscious, or there's fear that limits us in some way. There's social niceties or whatever, just following, conforming to standard models of what goodness entails, But like, I want to give away some fries bad, you know? And I know if I like did that for 15 minutes each day before meditating, that would be a nice sit. That would be a nice life. I think the condition of my heart and mind would be improved by that. And so the encouragement here is to to understand the relationship between fear and love more deeply. I'm cautious about simplistic formulations of, the opposite of, um, fear is love. The opposite of love is fear rather than hate, or something like that. Like that intuitively makes a lot of sense, but I'm sure it's complex. But it's worth even considering as a kind of thought experiment. What shape would your heart take if the nagging worries and control and concern and fear abated, even just a little? Thich Nhat Hanh says, the only way to ease our fear and truly be happy is to acknowledge our fear and look deeply at its source. Instead of trying to escape our fear, we can invite it up to our awareness, look at it clearly, deeply. And it's my sense that in gathering some of our courage and feeling a little bit more secure in opening to finitude and mortality, and knowing we all already know how the story ends, that helps melt away some of the worry. We become more radical, our love. Okay. For your consideration. So thank you all. I'm happy to be with you this evening, and look forward to next week. See you next time. Yeah. Wish you a good week. Okay, folks. Thank you.